Well, we're here. The Super Bowl nobody wanted, but we got Super Bowl 59 preview. Pop, how you feeling, man?
Wow, it feels like forever since we've done one of these. So
I know.
can't wait.
I know. It's been boys are just getting warmed up
Grinding,
over here. We might do
grinding.
10 podcasts today. Let's keep it going. Um so obviously here talking Super Bowl preview. Like I said, the Super Bowl nobody wanted. I was sick to my stomach when I saw the tweets about America's Super Bowl being Bills Commanders because I'm old enough to remember last year when America's Super Bowl was Detroit versus Baltimore, and we got neither of those teams. And I started seeing those tweets leading up to the championship games, and I was like, I rebuke it. Get out of my sight. And sure enough,
Yeah, a lot of people were on Commanders Bills, but didn't work out.
we got neither of them. So I got to be honest. It's some of the more apathetic I felt going into the game, going into a Super Bowl. You can call that sour grapes, but I mean, I just saw this matchup 2 years ago. I don't really want to see it
I
again.
couldn't disagree with you more.
It was a heck of a game. And I will be rooting for the Chiefs. I will be rooting very
All
hard
in on the Chiefs.
for the Chiefs. I'd love to see Mahomes get the three-peat. I also hate the Eagles. I think Eagles fans are obnoxious. So
Not all
I'm rooting for the Chiefs. We always got to give a couple of our boys in the comment section. Coach Lombard, our boy, always comes in with the heat, keeps us. You can't generalize these groups of people. There's some good ones in the bunch, but overall, I'm just sick of hearing from the guys on Twitter I've been hearing from, and they seem to just be so excited that they beat the Commanders and say that almost was their Super Bowl. They should probably focus on the Chiefs a little more. But anyways, we've got this game to cover today and to break down. What do you think, Pop? I mean, where's your vibes at?
I think you already gave your vibe check, but
I did.
I'm more and more. I'm getting more excited about the game. I'm sure as the week we're doing this early in the week. I'm sure as the week builds, it'll get more and more exciting. I mean, I'm not a fan of the Eagles. Some of the personalities on the team I don't love, although I am a big fan of Saquon and Jalen. I think they're terrific players, and you know, um, but I do have a lot of respect for that team. I guess that's what I want to say. And I like greatness. I've always liked the Chiefs. I still like the Chiefs. How could you not like Pat? And I always said that Andy Reid is best coach in football. So how can you not root for Andy? I guess maybe Eagles fans will be. I doubt they'll be torn, but I expect it to be a super good game, super competitive. And you never know, Eagles could pull through. I mean, that's just a super talented roster. But I also think if it's possible for the Chiefs to be underrated, I think they're a little underrated by the haters.
I
I
agree.
think they are. So, again, I root for greatness. I'd love to see that three-peat. Maybe I don't want to see a four-peat, but it's never been done before. It'd be pretty crazy. But I think it's going to be a battle. I really do.
Yeah, I want it to be a three-peat. I'm in the same boat. I've said it from the beginning of the year. I think we both picked the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl at the beginning of this year, and I think we both said like it's good to see greatness, and we're rooting for greatness for sure. I think regardless of who was playing in the NFC, I'd probably be rooting for the Chiefs unless it was the Commanders. So let's get into it, man. Let's discuss some of these keys for the Chiefs game. I think we're gonna have a whole betting section later on in the podcast. So if ball is not your thing and making money's more your thing, check out that chapters down at the bottom. We got a ton about our bets. We got some prop bets. We got some parlays. Lots of good stuff
That'll be fun.
coming your way. And we just got a surprise visit. Got a surprise visit from
There's
Rigo.
Rigo.
I thought I had the door closed. He broke down the door. Carlo Rigo Hendricks. What's up, buddy? All right, I got to get you out of here.
So Dominic will be right back, but we'll get into it. I mean, I think, from a keys perspective, I'll start breaking it down a little bit. I think for the Eagles, obviously that run game is extremely dynamic. I think they need to run the ball and they need to protect the ball. That was their winning formula against us. I think it would be a great winning formula against, the Chiefs. if they can run the ball, if they can protect the ball, and obviously, defensively somehow contain Pat, stop Pat from being Superman. I think those are big keys for the Eagles. I mean, obviously, great defensive team, dynamic with Saquon on offense, great receivers, and A.J. Brown. And I forgot Devontae Smith was a Heisman Trophy winner. I forgot all about that.
Yep.
I was just, for some reason, I was looking him up and was like, wow, that's crazy. So, tremendous talent on an Eagles roster, but I think the key is, exactly how they beat us. I hate to say it. They gotta avoid the mistakes, and they got to, and hopefully they can get that run game going, because that's where they really get dynamic. Now, we said don't, make Jalen a passer. He looked pretty darn good against us, but I think that Chiefs defense is an upgrade over what he saw, as much as I hate to say it, against the Commanders last week.
Yeah, I mean, credit where credit's due on Hurts. He played great last week, and I think if he plays like that this week, we're going to be in for a heck of a football game. And ultimately, more than anything, that's a lie. I want to see the Eagles get blown out. I would love for the Eagles to get blown out. I was going to say more than anything, I'd love to see a close football game, but not if the Eagles win. So I'd rather see an Eagles blowout. But I agree with you on the keys, Pop. I think it's going to come down to protecting the football for the Chiefs. That's kind of been their Achilles heel this year. Has been turnovers. Have been turning the ball over a little bit. Particularly Pat has been throwing some interceptions. I'm not too worried about him in the big game. I think for the Eagles, you could say you got to run the ball. You could say you got to force turnovers. At the end of the day, you better pray it ain't a one-score game with the ball in Mahomes' hands. That's you gotta sell out to make sure that doesn't happen. If it's a one-score game,
it's a tough spot,
and there's a minute and a half left with some timeouts, or 40 seconds with a couple timeouts, and you're only down 2, you don't want to be in that position.
Well, that's a bit of the trouble with this matchup, because you get the sense the Chiefs will never be out of it, right? Even if they get down 2 touchdowns, the Eagles start. It happened last time they played. I think the Eagles were up 10 or something. Mm-hmm. Like, even if the Chiefs get down, you're never going to think they're out of it. If the Chiefs are up 2 scores, I don't know how optimistic I'm feeling about the Eagles making that comeback, right? I'm talking 2 touchdowns when I say 2 scores. So, yeah, that's an interesting dynamic as this game plays out.
Yep, and I feel a level of arrogance out of Philly right now. It feels like Philly feels like they're going to run in there and just do it. So, okay.
Too much hate in your heart, son.
I just love the... I got plenty of it for the green and white. That's for sure. Andy Reid off a bye week. Best quarterback in the league right now. Maybe the best to ever do it. Remains to be seen. Certainly on pace to be in that conversation.
He don't want to lose the Eagles, that's for sure. Not Nick Sirianni's Eagles.
No. Andy Reid gets a chance to three-peat on the team that let him go.
I fired him.
Yep. That would be pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. Plus, I mean, we want to see Taylor Swift. Come on, man. This is all about T-Swizzle at the end of the day, right? Come on.
T-Swizzle. I think the Chiefs, obviously they got to contain Saquon. And then it'd be, for them, I think forcing Hurts into those mistakes that he was really good at not making through the course of the playoffs, or he has been good at not making through the course of the playoffs. I also think, we talked about this with Jaden Daniels, let Pat cook. Let Pat be Pat. I think during the season you get about an 85% version of Pat Mahomes. He doesn't run a lot. He tries to stay in the pocket. He obviously tries to make dynamic plays out of the pocket. But I think, let him use his legs, let him do whatever it takes. And you saw a bit more of that in the AFC Championship game. And when he does that, he becomes, hard to beat would be understating it, right?
Yeah. It's just he's Pat, man. It's hard to talk a ton of ball about this matchup. Obviously, the Eagles they're both very different teams since the last time they played one another. The Chiefs, Kelsey's a bit older. I don't think he's really lost a step, at least in the postseason. Since then, on the Eagles side, they obviously have Saquon now. which changes everything for them. And on top of that, Vic Fangio calling the defense is definitely a bit of an upgrade from their previous coordinators. And Kellen Moore is a great coordinator on the offensive side of the ball. You guys have a few more years to all be together and kind of gel. But
Steve Spagnuolo is pretty good.
yeah, that's the other thing is like the Chiefs have also got better. I mean, Pacheco has really broken out since then. Xavier Worthy is can score from literally anywhere on the Xavier Worthy. He's got that like Jameson Williams trait where like if the ball is in his hands, it can be a touchdown at any point. So these are some guys that we'll probably talk about in our Bada Bet segment, which frankly, I'm ready to jump right into, Pop, if you're ready to get into some betting.
Let's do it.
So this is our final Bada Bets of the year.
I'd say one more game thing. I would say just real quick. I do think the Chiefs defense is much better equipped to contain Saquon, if not play a really good game against him, than we were. And I think one of the things that's going to be key for the Eagles might be trying to find different ways to get his hands on the ball. Maybe it's a little more in the pass game than they've been doing. You want to get him in the ball. You want to get him in the space. I'm not sure if they just keep stepping and repeating there against Steve Spagnuolo defense. That's the smartest move. So they'll need to be creative to get touches to Saquon. Got great receivers too, right? So, but yeah, let's get into some of these bets. This should be fun.
Yeah, it should be a good time. It's going to be, DraftKings and FanDuel. There's going to be a few Fogo de Chao stops for a few different executives over the next couple of weeks, right? I mean, I'm sure those guys are making so much money. I'm sure Fogo de Chao's like McDonald's to them.
Still open for a sponsorship,
Absolutely, and for Fogo de Chao too. We'll stop Fogo de Chao. I mean, frankly, be towards the top of the list. But anyways, both Dom and Pop for our official Bada Bet segment were 1-1 last week. That ends me at 56, 47, and 2, and puts Pop at 54, 49, and 2 for the year. So Pop with a serious heater.
You get the ship.
The end of the year. That does officially put me on top, which I think makes me 2-1 in our all-time Bada Bet series. So Pop's going to be playing from behind next year. You can check the tape. Ain't no allegedly. That's all right. Bulletin board material, man.
Allegedly.
Bulletin board material. But
you had a great year. That did all right. 5 games.
Yeah, both did great. Both
500 for me, so not bad.
Situation with Pop was one of those situations where this performance from Pop would have been good enough most years, but he just ran into a brick wall. I don't know what else to tell you.
True. Chiefs of betting.
For sure. I guess this year. This is a bad year to actually stop putting money on the games for me. I think that's the secret, right? I'm not actually putting any money behind these picks. But Chiefs, 1.5-point favorites versus the Eagles in New Orleans. Pop, let's say it on 3. Who are we taking? 1, 2, 3.
The Chiefs.
Yeah. Very easy pick there for us. If for no other reason than we're not going to sit and root for the Eagles for 4 hours. That's just not how I'm going to spend my Super Bowl. So I'm picking the Chiefs here. Yeah, it's a pick 'em. It's a 1.5-point line. Whoever wins will probably win by more than that. And that's the situation, man. But yeah, I think we both are very clearly on the Chiefs side here. And let's get into the more interesting stuff here with just some of these prop bets, some of these anytime scorers. And we're going to do a Dom and Pop, the first official Dom and Pop parlay for the Super Bowl. So that'll be a good time. So over-under is set at 48.5. What do you like there, Pop?
Kind of a lot of points, but I don't know. I like the over. I always like picking the over. I don't know. Root for points. I think these teams are going to put up some points. It could, look, 2 really good defenses too. It could grind out, but I think these games tend to open up. Maybe teams start tight, tend to open up over time. I'm going over.
Yep. Yeah, I'm going to go over as well. I think that's over. It's just not a lot of points. But neither of these teams score particularly high, and they like to run the ball, but it's a Super Bowl.
Under might be the smart pick, but we're going over.
Under might be the smart pick, but we are going to take the over. Anytime touchdown scorers, you've got Saquon Barkley at -180, Jalen Hurts, the tush-push king, at -115, Travis Kelce +130, Kareem Hunt +135, Xavier Worthy plus 180, AJ Brown plus 180, and Pat Mahomes plus 370. So we're going to pick two of those
Yep.
each. Who do you
Yep.
like, Pop?
I'm going Saquon and Kareem Hunt.
Easy picks there. I like it. Now, are all these picks counting towards the Bada, like as if they're a game, or how is this being scored?
Yeah, we're not going to score this against the season,
Right.
maybe other than the Super Bowl pick. We'll make this its own individual.
We'll go over our
deal.
picks in our Super Bowl
Right.
recap, and we'll call a Super Bowl winner. How about that?
Right.
I'm going to take Xavier Worthy and AJ Brown, both at plus 180. I like that.
Whoa,
value.
bold.
I think they both score. I think we'll get a big play from Xavier Worthy. It's just too good. If we're talking like really trying to make some money, I love the value of the Pat Mahomes rushing touchdown at plus 370.
Yeah, I like that. I love that. I like that one too. We can mix it up when we do our. We do our
parlays.
Our parlay.
Because parlays are such low odds, you're trying to make some money one way or the other, right? So all this minus 180 crap in a parlay, you can take that and put it where the sun don't shine.
That's right. We can mix it up. We don't have to stay consistent.
Some prop bets, some fun stuff. Saquon Barkley's over-under rushing yards currently at 110.5. What do you like there, Pop? This is interesting.
I mean, he seems to put up 110 like it's 60 or 70 for some other guys.
Yeah.
I'm going to stick with my vibes on the Chief and go just slightly under. Just a tad under that.
Yeah, I'm going to take the under as well. Eagles fans will clip this up if it goes the other way.
They'll hate us, but that's okay.
Go ahead.
In the comments, come at us.
Hey, let me tell you, there's no love lost. If they hate us, that's just fine.
We keep receipts.
Page at least. But I'm going to go under. I don't know, man. He was kind of nursing that calf. Chiefs are going to sell out to stop him. If there's anybody that's going to figure it out, it's going to be the Chiefs.
I think the Chiefs selling out and the ability of Spagnuolo to scheme this thing up. That's where my confidence is. I mean, if he goes for 109, it's a pretty doggone good day. Maybe, like I said, they figure out ways to get him more involved. He touches in the receiving game, which would be smart, I think, by the Eagles. But yeah, I'll go under there.
Passing yards over under Jalen Hurts, 210.5. Give me the over on this.
Yeah, I guess to be consistent, I'll go over as well. Because if I got Saquon under, he's going to have to do a little bit more.
You got Pat Mahomes over under at 251.5. Here comes your hot take. Give me the under.
I'm going over.
I think Pat manages the game. I think the Chiefs run the football. It's a low number. I would feel a lot better about it if that was at like 268. Maybe there's an alt line somewhere that you can incorporate that into your parlay. But 251.5 would be this line, and I think I'm gonna take just under. Like I can see like 243.
I think it's going to be one of those where it looks like it's going to be under, but then as we get into that second half, I think he's going to heat up, start making some plays. But I like Pat being over 250 or 251.5.
I like it too. All right, fair enough. Passing touchdowns combined, Jalen Hurts and Pat Mahomes over under, or they're both?
They're both.
They each are over under at 1.5.
Right.
Give me the under for Hurts and the over for Pat.
I'll second that.
Yeah. But I don't mind taking the over for Hurts there, but I would probably go under if I had to pick right now. MVP, Super Bowl MVP, Patrick Mahomes plus 110, Saquon Barkley plus 280, Jalen Hurts plus 350, Travis Kelce plus 1,800, Xavier Worthy plus 3,000, AJ Brown plus 3,600. Is there a line for Harrison Butker?
I don't know. This is the ones I didn't think you were going to go to that deep, son.
I'm not. I'm just goofing around.
I know.
I would think. You're getting plus money on Mahomes Super Bowl MVP. Why not take it, right?
I think it's exactly what we did last year. We copped out
Yeah,
and just said we'll take the top guy. I think.
and it worked great.
Look, if you're a believer in the script writers for the NFL, who else is it going to be other than Pat? It's going to be Pat.
Yeah,
I think if the Eagles win, certainly Saquon or Jalen probably going to be one of those three guys.
yeah, I think it'll
Um,
be Hurts.
but I'm going to go Pat for sure.
I think in order for the Eagles to win, Hurts is going to have to do enough that because he's a
It's
quarterback,
fair.
he'll get the nod. I don't think he's a better player than Barkley. I don't think anybody that has their head on their shoulders thinks that's the case. I think most Eagles fans would even tell you they don't think that's the case. But he's the quarterback. If they win, it will probably come down to him having to make a couple clutch throws or him making some big plays early in the game. So I like, if you think the Eagles are going to win, Jalen Hurts at plus 350 is a slam dunk, in my opinion. But I'm going to
Well,
take
yeah,
that plus 100.
yeah. I think that's a good point. I think also, like, if you think of the Chiefs winning, it's almost going to have to be Pat, not just because of the name or
Yeah.
that it's rigged or anything, but it's like I think they win, he's going to carry him there. I really believe that. So,
Although, is there a world where this is it for Kelsey and they give him the MVP in like an Andre Iguodala-ish fashion because they've already
anything's
had enough?
possible. Anything's possible, but Kelsey is a to me is a better version of Zach Ertz right now. Like he's not as dynamic as he used to be. He's still got a lot left in the tank, but I think he does so many things so well. But I don't know that he's going to make that big splash. I think he's like a one touchdown guy and some big clutch catches for third, fourth down conversions. But I don't see him as an MVP guy. But you're right.
Yeah,
I mean,
just for reference, in the 6 Super Bowls that the Patriots won, because this is the dynasty that the Chiefs are chasing, whether you like it or not. In the 6 Super Bowls that the Patriots won, Brady won 4 of the 6 MVPs. One of them was Deion Branch in 2004, and then the other one was Julian Edelman in 2018. So that's where Edelman had like 151 yards in that game off. I think it was I don't know. Doesn't matter. But I think if Kelsey has a big day, that
it's
plus
Pat throwing him
1,800
the
might be
ball. That's the
nice.
other problem, right? Like what makes it hard to pick Travis because Pat's getting him the ball,
Yeah, but
right?
Pat's already got a couple. So you let Travis get one on the way out as a thank you for like I said, Andre Iguodala style. Thank you for
We
everything
could
you've
do a
done
side bet on that
for
if you'd
us.
like.
It would be I would put a sprinkle on that, and this is why I don't put money down on gambling anymore. But I would put a sprinkle on that. I think it's interesting. I think guys like Xavier Worthy, AJ Brown, not happening. But
No, I don't think so.
it's fun to. Those are there just for
Again,
Vegas
it's like
to
with receivers, it's
get
tough
a
because it's the
little.
quarterback's getting them the ball. The quarterback is always going to get more of the credit, right?
Exactly.
Unless they throw a couple picks or something. So I think it's hard. So I think it comes down to one of those three guys.
Yep. But Pop, what do you say
So
we
I
get
got
on
an
to these
idea for the
parlays?
parlay. So we're getting into the parlay. How about we make this a team sport?
All right.
Instead of you picking 4 and me picking 4, this will be the Don Pop parlay. We'll put some real scroll on it. If you'd like to as well, give us credit. But let's do this in a draft format. You pick one, I pick one. You pick one, I pick one. We'll make it a team sport, 4-person parlay. What do you think? I like the idea of that.
I like that. So
Okay.
four bets from is it either the Super Bowl MVP or the
Anything
prop
on this
bets?
list.
All the bets we listed.
Usually parlays might be an under or over. Who's going to win the game? Your anytime touchdown score could be any of that. Like any of these things we just talked about. If you want to come up with a random one, that's fine. I'm going to go off this list. But
All
4
right.
things off this list that you would pick in the parlay. Thinking about, like you said, you may not have picked Pat. Maybe you pick Pat in the parlay because we want to win some extra money.
I like it. All right. First pick. Give me Pat Mahomes Super Bowl MVP. First pick. Let's start easy. Let's start light. Let's start with the locks. You got to pepper some locks in on these parlays.
All right. And I'll go. I like that. I'm gonna take it from you. I like the Pat anytime touchdown score,
There we go.
which fits the MVP story, right?
In that case, I like that. In that case, give me an Xavier Worthy anytime touchdown score for my second pick.
Wow, we're gonna win some big money here. Since we've been so kind of bold in those picks, I'll go Saquon. I'll go Saquon anytime touchdown here.
Yeah.
To wrap it up. It's a minus, but secures things. It secures things a little bit for the boys on the rest of the picks. So the official Dom and Pop parlay, 4-leg parlay. It's going to be Pat MVP, Pat anytime touchdown score, Xavier Worthy anytime touchdown score, and a Saquon Barkley anytime touchdown score.
Fellas, for those of you who've played poker with me before and wonder why I fold on 98% of my hands, that's why right there. You see that Saquon Barkley touchdown pick right there? That's why. It's made it down generations. But I like it. I like the official Diamond Pop parlay. It's a lot of fun. It's a good time. It was a great idea, Pop, to switch that up a little bit.
We're going to put some money on that. And
Why not? Why not? Why not? I'll toss for that. We'll see. We'll see what happens, man. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah, no, it's going to be fun. Super Bowl. It's a little sad. Season's coming to an end. It has already ended for us, but got plenty of great off-season content coming your way. It's going to be fun as we prep for the draft and figure things out. And, we'll figure out. We're going to try to come up with some fun stuff for you this off-season.
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be some good stuff, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. But what do you say we wrap this thing up, Pop?
We did it, man. We said we want to be under 30, and I don't know. The vibes aren't high that we actually stuck to the outline this time and stuck to the timing. This is fantastic.
I mean, I tell you what, if the Commanders were in this game, there would be no chance we'd get this done. If the Commanders were in this game, we'd be halfway through.
We had to live stream all week.
We'd be going position, but we'd be halfway through the Nick Allegretti versus Chris Jones breakdown right now, which would only be the second thing on the outline. So there's a lot of that's something to keep you up at night right there. In some ways, glad I don't have to think about it. Anyways, let's wrap this thing up. I've been Dom.
This is Pop.
Thank you for another great week, everybody, and hail to the Commanders.
Hail.